Okay, spend your experience points, guys, please.
Are we picking up from being dropped off on the river, or is there going to be some time to pass to do some training?
A few days at the very, at the very best.
Okay, so we're not just picking up right where we left off.
No.
Alright.
Several days after you leave Marienburg, we'll just start.
Does anybody know how to use longbow or two-handed weapon?
I think Andy?
Yeah, both.
Okay. Probably two-handed weapon. If I don't know if that's something I can start training or.
Well, if Lucas agrees to teach you, you can start.
Okay.
Sure.
All right. Well, then I'll put I'll highlight that in yellow or something to say that it's active, but not yet.
Okay.
Or should I just spend the points and I'll probably never use it. To be honest.
don't spend the points yet. You don't know
Okay.
you don't know it yet. You need some time to learn it.
All right.
Okay.
But yeah, and then at the same time, can Sally, could you start teaching me Chilean?
Just so you know, Jason, you can't really learn two things at once during your stops. It's if you want,
these are just things I'm starting.
Yeah, but if you want to be good at something, you just need to concentrate on one thing.
Okay.
Sorry, but it's just how it is.
Well then, yeah, I don't have anything to spend.
Okay, Brian.
Can I do short shot?
Yeah, no problem.
And last time I was trying to do follow trail in the sewers. I don't know how long it would take to learn.
Well, it's you also need to learn it, for quite some time.
Okay, so short shot.
Yeah.
And I think that's the only thing I could get right now, realistically.
Yeah, I'm in exactly the same boat. In fact, everything other than sure shot that I can take is something that takes a while to learn.
Yeah.
So I'll keep focusing on follow trail, then Lucas will show me the ropes.
Okay. Yeah, look, Andy, I know about you, and Sean?
Yeah, I'm just looking here. Got a bunch of stuff. I'm wondering, I'm wondering if I could have learned ride.
Ride?
Yeah.
Did you, like...
Well, we didn't have any horses.
Yeah, so...
Okay.
No, sorry.
No, it's fine. That was just one that I was like, oh, I have the ability to learn that now. Or should I practice my public speaking?
Yeah, you can. I mean, you can do that, like just speaking to the guys at the stops during the stops.
All right, I have no idea what public speaking does, but I just noticed that was one of my things.
You can coerce a large number of people to do what you want, essentially.
Oh, okay.
I mean, plant an idea inside their heads.
Okay.
Jason, tell you what, you can do two things at once, but you just have to, like, on one stop, during one stop do this, and during another stop do something else. It will take longer, but you can do this, okay? If you want.
Okay. Do you think the medallion will expedite the learn language thing?
No.
Okay.
Medallion is just...
Rosetta Stone?
Yeah,
Yeah.
It doesn't even, it doesn't help you in any way. It just translates stuff for you.
Yeah. Now, the medallion doesn't look like a Google smartphone, does it?
No. Oh, and just so you know, I will have to get up in a second to get my toast because I'm hungry. Sorry for that.
Oh.
Yeah. And I like toast. So anyway, it has been several days after you've left Marienburg, and the journey thus far was actually pretty mild and mostly pleasant, in spite of trudging through the bleak marshes and the occasional shower. As you've traveled, you've suddenly noticed the change of the countryside after a few days, from the boggy wetlands to drier ground. Well, drier, I mean, it's still, late winter, so it's still pretty damp, pretty cold, but yeah, the terrain had definitely changed. Yes, sorry?
Do we have somebody recording?
Oh yeah.
Yeah, this is my third.
Okay.
So
Okay.
it'll be,
I just wanted to make sure it wasn't me.
Get
something.
an hour in. Oh, weren't you taking notes?
Yeah.
All right, sorry.
Essentially, every single one of you noticed that almost, from 1 hour, from 1 hour to the next, you've essentially entered the Empire, the borders of the Empire. You're back home. Well, at least some of you, not Sally, but the rest of you are. Naturally, the fields are all covered in a thin coat of snow. There are no sheep yet. There are no, copses. Is that the word? Copses?
A group of trees.
Yeah. But you recognize your homeland. And following the road, you've eventually entered a forest, a large forest, shadowy and grim. It's actually, the forest itself seems really ancient and foreboding, and the sky, obscured by heavy clouds as it is often also obscured for long distances by the canopy. And so you are continually walking in this, in this gloom, in this half darkness. It's very disconcerting, especially.
isn't this nice?
Yes.
Feels good. Sorry.
No worries. Especially, Lucas. I presume you are actually, you feel like you're at home.
Yeah.
Of course, there are strange sounds coming from all around you. Some strange animal sounds, snapping of twigs and branches.
You know what though? They're not people that are going to be nice to my face and try to stab me in the back. So.
Yes. Interestingly,
animals are honest.
Some of them certainly are. Yes.
Yeah, the beast man.
Yeah.
Hey, they're honest. They let me know they want to. They're straight up front that they want to kill me. I can respect that honesty.
Here and there, interestingly, you can see wanted posters nailed to trees, and they tremble in the winter breeze. Some of them bear the likeness of some of you. Well, I mean, it's not like they're exactly like your faces, but the artist uncannily drew some of you on the parchment. Naturally,
Should we rip those down?
yes, of course. Naturally, the names, of course, are completely different than yours. Christoph Schulz, Otto von Gerf, Big McLarge Huge. Yes, he's a notorious bandit leader, sorry, and so on and so on. The weather also changes from bad to worse, as it sometimes rains, a mix of essentially rain and snow, which goes under your coats, under your shirts. It's cold, it's damp, it's miserable. The road naturally is muddy. Well, it quickly turns muddy, despite the canopy of the forest being so dense. The dampness still finds a way, and so your boots are all caked in mud. It's chilly. It's chilly, but it's chilly in that you know, nasty, wet way, damp way. It just you can't really shake off that feel of being cold to the very marrow. Everyone makes a -20 perception test, please.
What kind of test?
Perception,
-20
eye test. -20, alright, no.
Where am I?
No. So we only have Sean.
Anyone gonna use the luck?
Trying to see if there's any.
He's got a lot of luck.
What's
Someone's
Rover
gonna pass
do? We're rural, right?
Be back in a
Rover
second.
is. Hold on. Rover is plus 10% bonus on concealment and silent move tests
Okay.
in rural areas.
Okay, so nothing. All right, I wasn't. Just want to make sure it wasn't like anything perception related.
Yeah, that's a good point because the problem is with these sheets, the talents are so far down that I never remember what talents I have.
Yeah.
We got so many now. It's like in combat, it's like, did I forget to use this or that? Or
That's why I always try to take the ones that are like stat bonuses first for that very reason. So that they go up into the characteristics instead of, I mean, they're down there, but I can adjust the characteristic instead, and that way I don't have to ever worry about it.
I'm back. So
I
no
think
one-
one of us should pass this test, though. Does anybody have a lot of luck?
I have 4 if we have full luck again.
Yeah, you have.
Okay.
I only have 2.
So
Okay.
is someone using luck?
I'll use luck. I'll redo it.
I'm assuming we're all back to full health, right?
Yes, you're on full heal. Sean? Okay, you're using luck.
Oh, there we go.
I
Perfect.
made it.
Okay.
Oh, and one more quick question. Would I have had time to develop the charm skill since I don't have it currently?
Charm?
Yeah.
Okay. You can charm people.
Okay. I will do that then.
You can hear a lot of movement coming from the trees all around you, Sean.
Okay.
Sean is Vincent, right? Or no?
No,
No,
Sean
I'm,
is Leopold.
Leopold.
Vincent is Jason.
Leopold. Sorry.
Vincent is Vincent.
Yeah, I'm high as a kite on painkillers because I messed up my shoulder last weekend. So.
Oh, okay. Sucks to hear.
Yeah, no, I got it's about 95% now, but I'm loaded up on painkillers and muscle relaxers and all kinds of fun stuff. So.
As long as they're not laxatives.
No.
Okay. Sean.
Yes.
So yeah, I've just described what you're hearing.
Okay. I
do have acute hearing.
No.
That is a perception thing, right?
Yeah, but
Okay. But yeah, I failed anyway.
Yeah, you failed anyway.
Okay, I shoulder my or get out my crossbow.
Sure.
And I tell the guys, "Psst, quiet, there's something in the trees."
Be careful, it might be Gennaro.
No, actually, he was. You last saw him like 2 curves back. He was waving at you.
Yeah, but he's just been sneaking up, like, in my mind, right? So in my mind, he's like playing pranks or something. Like,
Yeah, he is. He's an old jokester.
Ouch.
Want to, just have my shield and kind of have my hand on my sword ready to draw it in a moment's notice.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm gonna. He said in the trees.
Well,
That's what I said.
That's what he said.
Okay, yeah, that's what I was making
I
sure.
don't know,
Yeah,
I don't know if that's correct,
Yeah.
but that's what I said.
Yeah, Lucas is gonna pull his bow and knock an arrow and start scanning.
yeah, I got my sling ready.
Right? You don't see anything? Sure. You're still walking?
Yeah, I think slowly, but yeah.
Okay.
Order of movement?
The road is wide enough for all of you to walk abreast. If you want,
Alright.
sorry.
Yeah, I think that's probably roughly safest. You know, that way we.
What side's it coming from, Leopold?
You don't hear them coming, you just heard noises.
Well, yeah. Is there a direction?
Can I look to see if I?
All around you.
It's just movement all around us. Okay.
All right. I want to position myself to one of the sides. Just say left side for now.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm on the outside.
Okay.
What do we know what province we are in roughly?
Well, you
Nordland?
guess... No, it's probably something... It's either Middenheim or Nordland.
Okay.
Yeah, we're north.
Sorry, Middenland
of the
or,
river,
or
right?
Nordland. Yeah, you're north. You're north.
Okay.
But it might as well be, you know, Reichland.
Right. No, I was trying to think if I knew off the top of my head any remarks to make about basically to make fun of the Northerners.
Yeah.
But
Oh, okay.
Northlanders are weirdos.
yeah, but nothing came to mind fast enough. So
Okay. So anyway, you are making your way forward, very cautiously, of course, because you are aware that probably something is, you know, all around you, and this ain't just trees. And as you reach a curve in the road, you see a man traversing the curve and running towards you. The man is he has clothing of fine quality, although you can see that it's beginning to show signs of wear. You can also see that he's armed. He's got a rapier at his side and a main gauche. He also has a pistol in a holster. There's a purse on his waist, of course, and there's like a horn hanging from his belt, probably, you know, storing pistol shot and powder. He's not armed. He runs towards you, but he's not armed. Oh, no, I mean, you know, he doesn't like he doesn't sprint towards you. He's just trotting lightly. He's not charging, if that's what you're asking.
Right. And his weapons are not out, correct?
No, they're not out. Hello there, gents, he says merrily as he stops like 4 or 5 meters from you.
Oh, I thought he was running and fleeing. Okay.
No.
I keep looking at the tree line.
I'm sorry to say that, but you're all surrounded. I would like for you to give up, and so I can take you into custody and claim my reward.
I say to him, I would like for you to lie down on your face on the road, or I will put this bolt through it.
Oh, sorry, gent. I have 22 people surrounding all of you, and they're armed with
Okay, well
crossbows.
they'll attend your funeral.
Well, naturally, but you are also going to die. And,
Okay.
you know, there's no need for that.
Yeah, you're right.
Look, my name's Arnold Shade. I'm from nearby village of Pfeiffersdorf, and there's well, there are some posters, you know, we've encountered which bear your resemblance. So, you know, it's nothing personal. I mean, for all I know, you can be innocent. It might be a mistake, but I need to take you in. You see, I'm a representative of the law of the Empire. So, like I said, please surround yourselves. You will not be. I will not tie you, or you know, or anything like that. I just want to take you to Pfeiffersdorf, and you know, for you to speak to the village. What the hell is this name? Yeah, to the village man in charge.
Is Pfeiffersdorf on the way to Altdorf?
Oh yes, sir. It is. Indeed, it is.
how do you spell Pfeiffersdorf?
P-F. Oh, you know what? I'm going to write it.
P-H?
Yeah.
Or P-F?
Here.
Barney Pfeiffersdorf.
Oh, yeah, he meant town steward. You're going to speak with town steward, Zacharias Lauer. He's a decent man. Look, if it's a mistake, you'll be free to go, right? And you can enjoy our hospitality. If it's not, well, either way, I need to do my duty, and I have more men than you.
Do you have a warrant that you're an officer of the law?
Yes, sir. I'm a member of the Blausblut. We are essentially a group of noblemen. We are dedicated to the defense of Pfeiffeldorf. The steward has hired us, me and the rest of my crew. And,
May I see your paper?
Well, I can. Yes, of course, of course.
I don't. Take my hand off my sword and just start walking.
No, he said, no.
You...
You stay where you are, sir. I'm sorry, but if you do one more step, my men will just shoot you all, and I don't want to do that. I really don't. Here you are. Here's the paper, and he, produces a piece of parchment. He unfolds it. There, it's actually a very. It's not parchment per se. It's pure paper with like a waxen seal at the bottom. I also have this, and he takes off one of his gloves. You can see his signet ring. And essentially, the man speaks like a nobleman. I mean, I probably can't imitate that, but you can see that this man is of noble birth. You also know what happens to people in the Empire who even raise a finger against a nobleman. So,
well, sir, you seem reasonable. We are outnumbered, so I imagine it would be understandable if we wanted to keep our weapons on us. We've been robbed like this before. Someone claiming to be with the law. To disarm us.
Well, sir, if I would want to rob you, I would just order my men to shoot you from the bushes. Like, I wouldn't, bother speaking to you if I was an ordinary highwayman.
Well,
by the way, that was an insult, and I'm going to let it slide this time.
Just so we know, can some of those men step out?
He whistled. On each side, essentially. Almost 24 men stepped out, dressed in like camouflage, white cloaks. At least half of them are armed with crossbows, trained at you.
Okay,
I want to look at Sally and say, he's got a point.
I want to just sling my shield and kind of do a hand gesture of after you.
First of all, unholster your weapons, drop them on the ground. They will be given back to you. I promise. You have the nobleman's word for that. You will not be tied while on your way to Pfeiffeldorf unless any of you will misbehave. I think that's a very generous deal you have here. Oh, you can keep your purses and backpacks and stuff like that. Just weapons.
Okay, I guess I slowly do as he says.
As a trusted servant of Moore, would you mind if I held onto a single sidearm and I gestured to my sword?
Unfortunately, sir, no, I can't let you do that. You are saying that you're a trusted servant of Moore, but I have no way of verifying that claim.
Do I have any verification? I probably don't.
No. So, Vendo, bring the horses. One of the men disappeared in the forest. In fact, few of the men disappeared in the forest, and they've brought horses onto the main road. The Blausblut, you can see that they are essentially dressed almost exactly like Arnold Shade. They're pretty well armed and armored, although they're nobleman's garb do show signs of wear and tear. Most of them are armed with pistols, rapiers and swords. You can even see from their faces that they are all noble people. There are a few women among them, but most of them are male. Arnold seems rather young. You guess that he He's somewhere around 20, maybe 25 years old. Hard to tell. A man approaches him, and you can see that he's depressed. The man has slumped shoulders. You know, he hangs his head low. He has rumpled black tunic and breeches. His shoes are muddy, and you can hear him mumbling, you know, complaints about it under his nose. He leads 2 horses, sorry, not just 1 but 2. One for Arnold, who quickly, you know, mounts the creature, and the other black horse with a white blob on its head is for him. He also clumsily mounts it. You can also see that his horse bears a coil of rope. Fortunately, the Blouseblood don't need to use it. Oh, and he's armed, you know. So he's got sword, a shield, and of course a pistol. The Blouseblood members of the Blouseblood take all of your weapons, but true to Shade's word, they do not tie you. Although you know, you are being led by essentially half of them, and the other half remains behind you with their crossbows held lightly. But of course, they can, you know, put them to their shoulders very quickly if they wish so.
I lean over to whoever is next to me and just mutter about, "I told you that at least the animals are honest."
And so you continue your trek through the forest, although now as fugitives. Well, probably
hostages.
Yes.
Well, sir, I hope there's a hot meal at the end of this road.
Well, we have a single inn, sir. You know, you can... the Wet Whistle. I've heard it offers pretty tasty food, although I do not normally mingle with peasants. You know... I don't know if you've heard about us. I mean, the Blouseblood. We are a group of free thinkers, so to speak. You see, me and my comrades, and he essentially enters into a tirade.
I'm gonna look over to whoever's next to me and roll my eyes.
You see, we and our comrades believe that inheritance should be based on merit, not on some accidental order of birth. We are all second sons and daughters of noble families, and so, according to the Empire's law, we can't really inherit anything. That should be changed, and blah blah blah, blah 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 blah, blah 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 blah. And he, you know, he keeps just speaking these things. You can see that those Blouseblood who are walking on foot, and some of those who are also riding on horses, are like rolling their eyes and, you know, mimicking him behind his back, of course. It's probably not the first time that he entered into such tirade. Occasionally, you know, sometimes Shade stops this speech and says, "Occasionally peasants may find themselves possessed of some small noble quality or other, that I will grant, but nowhere will you find every noble quality together except in the noble himself." Or, you know, dignity is due to all creatures formed in Sigmar's image, possibly even peasants too. While the Vendel fellow, you know, he rides to his right, right next to you, and you know, he looks depressed, he looks miserable, he sometimes sobs, like you know, stuff like that. The other men and women talk quietly between themselves, and they don't really, you know, address you in any way. They do keep an eye on you, you know that, but they don't really are in talking mood, so to speak. At least, not to you. So, you boys are with that whole crusade thing?
No.
What
Now,
crusade
is that
thing?
Come again, please?
What crusade thing?
Well, the crusade that, you know, came through Pfeiffeldorf a few days ago.
Oh, just a few
What?
days ago? Oh, no, we never heard of such a thing.
Really? You know, Ordinarily, it is good for business when these fanatical groups pass through. The von Speyers are forced to increase security, and increased security means more coinage for us. This mob was particularly large, however, and particularly disruptive. I was actually glad to see them go, if I have to be completely honest.
Does he sound honest, or
Yes.
okay?
Yeah, I mean, the man is very plainly speaking.
All right, I wasn't sure if he was like trying to leverage us to give anything away, so I'm kind of being suspicious about that.
No. When he talked about the Crusade, you can see that the Vandal fellow was like, Crusade? What Crusade? Why am I always the last to find out about these things?
The depressed guy.
Yeah.
Eeyore.
As I asked him, I said, "Hey, you almost look like you're from Wissenland."
Wissenland? No.
Yes. My compatriots in Wissenland have a similar demeanor.
Oh, it's my fault. I don't know why I'm even out here. I should have taken father's advice and gone into clergy.
Yes.
That's what my fiancée used to say. Sigmar bless her. You
It's
see
never
that?
too late to go to clergy. Leave your life behind.
I'm just no use to anyone. You see that Shade, leaned in his saddle to you, Lucas, and he says, "My friend Vandal Ott here. He's got a hard time. You see, his fiancée left him after he made a very nasty, very unfortunate deal when it came to grain business, and he's in this state ever since. He's been in this state ever since. Be a good chap, or actually be good chaps, and when we reach the Pfeiffeldorf village, tell the steward that it was Vandal who took you in. All right?"
Okay.
Thank you, sir. Please don't, also, I know it's probably tempting, but please don't make fun of my friend. It's sometimes his mood can be a little bit irritating and, well, comical, but he is still my friend. I would hate to see him get, hurt even more.
Done.
Thank you. Okay, just wait a second. Sorry.
So I guess that guy's just depressed. I was concerned he was like a intruder or like somebody from the caravan trying to.
Well, when Arnold said something about our group or something, he said something that my first thought was Chaos Cult.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yes.
I didn't say anything about your group.
I want to keep looking at the tree line. I'm expecting Gennaro to jump out
Davis.
any second.
Well, you don't see him right now, but you know that he is there. He is always there for you.
I'm also keeping an eye, but that's more to make a break for it if I can.
Okay. Right.
But it would have to be a really good break, not a
Really, there's at least a dozen crossbows, all primed and.
Right. That's what I'm saying. That's why it would have to be a really good one, not like a 50-50, like a
like all 24 guys trip and fall at the exact same time.
Yeah.
Okay. So anyway, like I said, during the journey to Pfeiffeldorf, Shade talks incessantly about the evils of primogeniture and how unfair it is that all noble wealth is transferred only to the eldest heir without regard to suitability or merit. He discusses the plight of the Blausblatt and the bleak situation poor Vandal finds himself in, all due at least in part to the most common inheritance system in place throughout the Empire. He complains this system has created a disenfranchised class within the nobility, and that something must be done about it soon, or else the Empire might find itself torn apart from civil strife. You know that such talk within the Empire is very seditious, essentially.
Yeah, I was gonna say that sounds like heresy.
Yeah. Well, it sounds like sedition, but sedition is heresy.
Yeah,
so,
treaty.
You know, it's not like Sigmar would not stand for that if he was still in charge.
Which makes it heresy.
Of course.
I kind of discount it all because there are certainly greater threats than class warfare to the Empire right now.
Shade is diligent and passionate. It's very clear for you, and he knows when to exploit a captive audience because the man can speak, and say about him what you wish, but the man can speak. But it's really obvious to you that he has drawn on at length to each of the Blausblatt on this very subject. And even though they probably share his view, since they are in his band, group, whatever you want to call it, like I said before, it's obvious that they are quite tired of hearing him, espouse them. While Wendell sobs for no apparent reason, and it's at this point that you probably wish you could finally arrive.
What's the guy's? What's the depressed guy's name?
Wendell Ott. I'm going to write it.
Essentially, Wendell.
Yeah, here.
Okay, because you're.
And he's the leader, Arnold.
Arnold. Okay.
Schad.
Yeah, he's not Arnold.
Schadenfreude.
Schadenfreude. Yeah. Well, Schade in German means sorry. No, sorry, not sorry, but it's like a shame. You say Schade. It's like what a shame.
Yeah, that's where Schadenfreude comes from, I think.
All right.
Yep.
Yeah, with that's where you take that's where you get happiness out of somebody else's pain.
Yep.
Oh, okay. That's pretty fucked up.
Yeah, but the Germans have a word for it. So.
Yeah. You've also learned that the Pfeifeldorf is run by the noble von Speyer family. Although you don't really get much more details, you probably need to, speak to people inside the village, in the village. What you know is that von Speyers, hired the Blausblut to essentially act as a police force and enforcers for keeping peace within the borders of the small village.
While Arnold is giving his rants, I'm going to agree with him at points and bring up that I hear you. I'm the seventh son, and I had to take off on my own for the same reasons, and how I think that's great that he's doing something about it, and basically suck up.
Yeah.
Through my own talk about my own experiences and
okay.
That like I said, suck up.
Yeah, well, you see, of course, he doesn't he acknowledges you, but he's one of those people who like to speak so much that they just say yeah, and anyway.
Yeah, no,
not to mention he's polite enough not to bring up the fact that you are a peasant, obviously, and he is he's a nobleman.
But I'm trying to express agreement with his positions and stuff, and involve so he doesn't think to bring up my own back, so he doesn't think I'm sucking up. Does that make sense?
That it makes sense.
Yeah. Okay.
Anyway, you finally arrive in the village of Pfeifeldorf. Your weapons are not in your possession anymore, but fortunately, at least you're not bound, gagged, or dragged behind horses. Anyway, the very first sight upon reaching Pfeifeldorf is a haggard-looking child dressed in sackcloth who is wandering to and fro, calling out the name Bodhi, Bodhi. And you see that he's obviously searching for something. You are passing the child by. Okay, so
what are you looking for, kid?
You see that the child tearfully recounts how his pet rat, named on account of a nearly colorless patch of fur at the top of his head, went missing 3 days ago, Sorry, 3 days ago, and has not come back. Mister, if you've ever seen this boat rat wandering about, could you please either catch him for me or tell me where he is, because it has never been go this long before.
I'll do my best, son.
Thank you, mister. And he keeps searching for the animal. You can also see that the town itself is in a state of bad disrepair. Various buildings have caved in, and many village residents carry heaps of garbage out to the far side of the village, where several thick black plumes of smoke coil and rise above the forest's canopy. Also, something quite rare has occurred in a village where most people are tied to the land. You can see, even at the first glance, that a lot of people are not here. The village is like half empty. It's obvious to you. Many of the buildings in Pfeiffeldorf are empty, essentially. And not only those who have been, wrecked. 10 yards in front of you, as you are, moving through the outskirts of the village, 2 peasants, one tall and one short, carry bundles of refuse. Suddenly, the tall one trips the other, bringing him down and causing his barely contained rubbish to spill out over the ground. The tall one crows, "If you had joined the Crusade of the Child, the blessings of Karl's protection would be over you, and things like that wouldn't happen." The short one brings himself to his feet, yanks a pamphlet out of the tall one's pocket, and tears it up. Aghast, the tall one drops his refuse and screams, "The words of Karl, you heathen!" before diving headlong into the short one. Both disappear in a hail of garbage and flailing fists. You see that Shad, looks at them, looks at you, simply shrugs and saying, "Welcome to Pfeiffeldorf. This petty fighting has been going on since the Crusade of the Child passed through last week."
Is that where all the people went?
Well, yes, sir. At least half of the village has joined the Crusade, and left with it towards Altdorf. You can also see that many of the buildings, both the ones in a state of disrepair and the untouched ones, are also covered in some kind of religious graffiti. Painted with some kind of black paint, or or mud, or other unidentifiable
brown stuff.
Yes, brown stuff. Thank you.
Okay.
Anyway, yes, sorry. Someone wanted to say something?
No, I just said poop.
Oh.
It's most likely, although you're not sure. Those of you who can read can also see that the most of the graffiti speak about the divinity of Karl. Sigmar being reborn. Essentially, just stuff like that.
Are there any thief signs?
No, there are no thief signs.
Herr Shade.
Yes.
Are you not at all interested in this crusade?
No, why would I be?
Rebirth of Sigmar?
I'm an honest, pious man, but I don't really like religious fanatics, to be completely honest. Besides, I have my own quest. The quest for inheritance and justice.
Did you see whoever it is they're following with your own eyes?
I saw something or someone from far away, but no. Me and my man, we were positioned at the very outskirts of the village, making sure that things won't get out of hand. We didn't mingle with the mob. Anyway, I think that's enough for the question. That's enough, question for now. I'm going to tell you to the steward. You can speak with him. And, true to his word, He takes you to a place, to a building, essentially, positioned by a ramshackle group of open stocks, and you are led by said stocks to the office of the town steward, Xathrodox86's. I'm going to write it. Here it is. Shade leads you into the entryway when he tells you to stay put while he discusses your case with Lauer. You see that, you know, essentially, you can, even from the entryway, you can see that Lauer is like this thin, slightly haggard man in long, expensive robes. Obviously, he's also quite old, slightly stooped. But it's obvious that the man eats well, and you know, he enjoys the privileges of his office. You can see that Lauer also hands Shade a small bag of coins, probably the reward for you, and hushed words are exchanged. Every once in a while, Lauer looks questioningly over Shade's shoulder back at you. You can all make +10 perception tests.
Now, I do have acute hearing, so that's +20% to
yes.
perception tests.
Andrew,
yep.
2. Nice.
We can hear you. Just kidding.
Yes.
We made perception tests like this when they jumped out at us.
Yeah, if I'm given the chance, I want to mention to them about how Wendelot's friend asked if we could say that Wendell was the one that brought us in.
All right.
But I'm not sure if we really should, because I don't know if we want to piss off Arnold that way.
Okay. So
if I get the chance, I want to tell him that. Yeah.
Yeah, you can, because I mean there are a couple of Blausblatt, you know, guarding you, but they are not staying like over your shoulders.
Okay.
So you've told them that you've told them to tell Lauer that Ott was the one who brought you.
Well, I've told him that his friend asked us to, but that I'm not sure if we should or not, because I don't know if I want to make Arnold mad at us.
Okay.
For stealing his credit.
So yeah, the rest of you heard what Lucas said. I don't know if you're going to do anything about it, of course, but you know, it's up to you.
Yeah.
Okay. Anyway, you've passed the test, and so you can overhear fragments of the conversation. They don't look tough enough. Are you sure they're up to it? I have my doubts, but I can see that it appears to be the only solution. Anyway, finally, Lauer motions to you to come forward. Shade steps to the side, and so you're standing in the office of Pfeiffeldorf's steward, Zacharias Lauer, staring at him as he stares back at you. I will need to verify your stories, mein Herren. This process typically requires a day or two, by pigeon of course. During this time I need to decide what exactly to do about the presence of potential criminals in my village. Lauer shifts in his seat behind the desk and glances at Shade, who gives an approving nod. And then he continues. You appear to be a rough and ready lot who have seen and survived your share of adversity. I can respect that. Typically we place suspected criminals in our stocks while their bona fides are being reviewed for signs of forgery. But I'm a reasonable man. He takes a deep breath and his countenance darkens. There is a matter of importance that I would like you to attend. Should you agree to cooperate, you may have your freedom to move about town over the next 24 hours. Though of course you will have to surrender your weapons. You have my word that regardless of the success or failure of your investigations, you will be released and free to go after the time has elapsed, assuming your claims are authentic, of course. Do you have any questions?
What would this job entail?
Investigation. Here is a small map of the town. I've marked the house where you are where you are to begin your investigations. Please, Harry.
Is this like a how big is this town?
It's very it's very small.
It's a dwarf.
More of a village.
It's a village. It's not a town. It's a village.
Yeah.
Okay.
It's even smaller than the village of Trottelsville. Sorry, Trotteldorf, the one in which you've killed the Kislevite heretic and his Magus associate.
Yeah.
More of a crossroads than even a village, it sounds.
Yeah. Don't you want to know what you are going to investigate?
Yeah, I asked.
A theft.
What? Huh?
There's
theft.
Yes. There is this unfortunate thing about the Frau Gertrude, a very comfy lass, young, attractive, and available, mind you. One of her chickens disappeared from her farm a few days ago, and she really wants to know who took it.
Sure.
Okay.
Yes, chicken. I've marked her house on the map. It's right here. I'm going to upload the map in a second, by the way.
Oh, okay. I was looking for. I was like, am I blind?
So you don't have any more questions. It's very, very, very nice of you. Man of few words. I like that.
Well, you're just saying that somebody's chicken was stolen, and you want us to find it out.
Yes.
When did she last see it?
Well, that, like I said a few days ago, that the the details you have to, discuss with Frau Gertrude. You will be also accompanied by our scribe, Duali, Runeborn. He's a dwarf, in case you haven't figured it out.
Weird name. Okay, got it.
I'm going to write it.
Have any other animals gone missing, or is this the first?
Well, I haven't really heard any. I haven't really heard any other complaints about missing animals. That said, you can ask about. You can ask around town. Here's his name, by the way. If you wish so, we have only a single tavern, inn, actually, the Wet Whistle, run by Martin Kleinschrott. Oh, sorry. Kleinschrott, here's. But I would like to start your investigation at the beautiful Lady Gertrude's house.
In all seriousness, Vincent's going to be like, and if we come across a suspect who proves guilty, I'm assuming you want us to deliver judgment immediately there on the spot.
No, I mean, of course, if you'll be able to, then yes. But look,
we will need our weapons then.
He says, "You're not getting your weapons before I'll make sure that you are innocent."
Well, that is fine. It just may take a little longer to dispense with our judgment.
We can dispense Sigmar's justice with our bare hands if necessary. We've done it before.
My people, let me be absolutely clear with you. Alright? This is a fool's errand. And Frau Gertrude is an old hag who hates everyone in this village. Well, and she hates me. And she's an old nagging hag. And she won't stop pestering me for the fucking chicken. And I'm at the end of my wits. So I'm asking you to find the goddamn animal and either deliver it back to her, or I don't know, do anything. I should probably treat you as criminals, have you bound, gagged, and shackled.
I want to crack my knuckles and be like, understood, she is the primary suspect then.
He looks at you like a fucking idiot. Anyway,
Well,
you can...
all this talk about chickens, we were promised a hot meal when we got here.
Actually, says Shad, you are promised to be led into the village where you can find our only tavern, in which you can eat your hot meal, sir.
Okay.
Yes, thank you. Oh, and by the way, if any of you boys even thinks about, living through the forest or through the road, my men are stationed all around the village, and they have orders to kill you on sight if you even if you even make a single step into the forest. Am I clear?
Sure.
Excellent.
Yes.
So, anyway, says Lauer, I'm pretty sure that a bunch of heroes like you will have no problems in finding the animal and delivering it back to Frau Gertrude. Dwali, come here, he says. Your scribe will attend you shortly. He's to make sure that you are doing what you've been tasked with. And I'm sure in a day or two you'll be able to get back on the road and go your merry way.
Sounds good.
Excellent.
All right, guys. It looks like I'm gonna have to
Okay.
get lost. So I guess the pertinent things about my character that you need to know is that I have 3 luck left, which I don't see. I never track it on the electronic sheet, so you'll just have to make a note of that.
Okay.
And then I did update. I think I updated that I have charm, and also the thing about how I don't have any mail protection on my chest, or I put it as 0 on body because my mail was smashed. And I don't think we had time to fix that, right? If I recall correctly.
Okay. I'm going to remember that, Sean. No worries.
Okay. Well, it's on the character sheet if you have access to it now. I didn't update it before, but I was just looking through it and I did it now.
In case you get attacked by a chicken.
Yeah, okay. Oh, and also remember that kid's Baldy, the rat, is missing.
Yeah.
If that's a clue that you need.
Good riddance.
Bold rat from Pfeiffeldorf.
Yeah.
Yes.
Was the bald rat in your father's pocket?
Oh my god.
Sorry, that's gross.
Yeah, that is fucking gross.
Well, anyway, sorry guys.
Who
I
calls
gotta
you
go.
Specker Rat, by the way?
Yeah.
Anyway, see you, Sean. Take care, and see you next time.
Yeah, just
Yeah,
let me know when the next session is.
Don't get in
Okay.
trouble at the funeral.
Yeah, I'll try not to.
Yeah.
Thanks, guys.
Take care.
All right, take care. Bye bye.
Bye. All right. You see that a short figure enters the office. You see that it is indeed a dwarf, and you see that he always appears to be a bit irritated. He looks irritated when he looks at Lauer. He looks irritated when he looks at you. He just looks irritated. He has this ledger hanging from his neck, on which there's a book of some sorts, and a pot of ink, and a writing quill. He is essentially dressed more like a dwarf than an imperial, or rather in a mix of 2 styles, functional and a bit gaudy, especially when it comes to his sleeves. His features are carved into a strange mixture of suspicion, distrust, and restrained bemusement. I'm here, Stuart. Yes, Dwali. These are the men who will take care of our chicken problem. You are to accompany them and make sure that they are doing their best to help our community. Yes, thank you. He looks at all of you. Anyway, says Lauer, with this fake huge smile on his face, If you don't have any more questions to me, I suggest that you go to work and finish this task as soon as possible, for all of our sakes.
Sounds good.
Excellent. I await your return with great interest. May Sigmar guide you in this endeavor. Off you go.
Okay.
And
I make the sign of the hammer.
Yeah. With that, you leave the office, I presume.
As we walk out, I say, $10 says somebody on the Crusade stole it.
You mean 10 crowns?
Yeah.
I find it odd that he wants the old woman dead, but
yeah,
that's
10
what he wants.
10 crowns would probably be a bit much. 10 silver.
Yeah.
What was the dwarf's name again?
Dwali.
Dwali Runeborn, and he follows you. You see that he follows you, scribbling consistently in his book. He doesn't really look at you. He doesn't even look when he's going, where he's going, but of course, being a dwarf, he never trips.
So I guess I pull the map out and say, I guess we should go visit this Frau Gertrude first.
Okay, let me just upload the map, if I'll be able to do so.
I think for a job like this, we need to start at the tavern and have a few drinks as we, get ready for such a difficult task.
You were told explicitly to go to Frau Gertrude's house first, says Dwali, not even looking at you.
Herr Runeborn, did they start you off chasing chickens too?
Well, yes.
I'm like making a joke, but I guess him being a dwarf, he's not gonna get it.
No, he certainly does not. I've uploaded the map. It's on the main. It's on the grid, essentially. You can see it?
Yep.
Okay, I'm going to put it. Oh yeah, a bit higher. Yeah, that's the spot.
Casa de Frau Gertrude. I guess this is from the Spanish copy.
Oh shit. Sorry. Okay. For now, this.
We're in Estalia. We took a wrong turn.
Yeah. For now, this has to do. I'm going to switch it later. Okay.
Wrong turn in Albuquerque.
Yeah.
Okay, if you have any questions about the numbers, just ask me, and because I have my English copy, my physical English copy here, so I'm going to answer it. Sorry guys, I didn't saw that. I wanted to upload a clear version of the map, essentially. Yeah.
And I guess
It's the
18
Gertrude's
is where
house,
we
then.
just.
What?
I guess 18 where we just left.
Yes, it's Oficina di Administrador.
Okay.
Which
So we gotta go
which
from
is-
18 to 12. Okay.
Yes, which is steward's office. Okay.
Which one is the inn?
You're asking me, or you asking the dwarf?
I'm asking you, like just
19. 19.
18. Okay, so that's right next door, basically.
El
So we have to
Gazante
go across
Mojado.
town.
Sorry. I'm also.
I like some of these with the mix of German and Spanish.
Yeah.
Like because it's a German name.
Yeah.
Casa de Frau Gertrude.
Casa de Johannes Gebhardt.
Establos von Speyer. No, you know, I'm currently also running a Delta Green game, and it's set in Mexico in the 80s, and so I constantly say things like, you know, hola señoros, stuff like that, because I know like 3 Spanish words, and I just use them, you know.
Look at 9.
You
Casita
like perfected
fucking
their
burger.
accent.
What?
You perfected the accent of those 3 words.
Yes, thank you, yeah. Casita Fortenberger.
Yeah, that's the funniest one on there, I think.
I used to know some power gamers back in undergrad but all they knew was D&D, like they knew no other games. And I kept threatening to run a Delta Green game, telling them it was just a modern military game.
Oh, that's dirty.
And then spring the horrors on them. Oh yeah, the insanity, that's just, you know, insanity of war. You know, don't worry about it. You know, y'all are special ops, right?
See, that I would love to be like be in a game like that where it takes a totally left turn. Like you'd think it's just it's like a game in the 30s, but then it turns into a Cthulhu game, but nobody is aware of that.
Yeah, and the horrors begin to emerge, and it's like, oh shit, son. Yeah. So anyway, you need to make your way to Casa de Frau Gertrude. Sorry, I'm not going to say it. To Frau Gertrude's house. It's number 12 on the map.
Right.
As we're walking there,
come to think of
I'm
it,
doing my best chicken call.
I'm going to leave this map because it's just too funny. Yeah.
And next week when Sean joins, we need to all act like it's in English.
Okay. The joke will be on us if Sean actually can speak Spanish.
In Arizona, there's a good chance he can.
Yeah.
Who has the map?
Decide between yourselves.
I'd say Lucas, since you.
Yeah, I'll take it.
Okay, but can Lucas actually? Oh yeah, there's no legend there, so it doesn't matter if he read or write.
Yeah, he said he marked it, right? So like, I would have seen when he marked it, and
Yeah.
Mary, look at the map.
I'll hand it over to Vincent.
I'm just gonna kind of. I guess I could pick out certain things. Like I could probably make out that, like, one is a Garden of Moor. Or I'm sorry,
one is
a Jardin de Mora.
One is Garden of Moor. 2 is Way Temple of Moor.
Yeah, so, and that's something I can see without. I could probably make out without needing to have a key.
Yeah.
Or anything like that. So.
Okay, so
I'm gonna hand it back.
Where are you going first? To Frau Gertrude's house or to the Wet Whistle?
I think we go to Frau Gertrude's house first.
All right. You're making your way through the village, and you can see that it's uneven.
I'm doing my best chicken call, trying to see if we can find it and get it over with.
When you're doing that, you.
Ooh, I look at Lucas and I look at Leopold, and I kind of wave my head towards Sally. Like, we could get some pillows. Like some glue.
When you're doing that, Sally, you can hear Duali saying something like "Grumbaki umgi," under his nose, and then he continues to scribble in his book. You don't know what it means. Anyway,
something about grungy.
You don't know. Grumbaki umgi.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. Anyway, you can see that the village is indeed in a bad state of disrepair, and well, I can even say the word ruin. It really looks like just a whole bunch of people, like hundreds of them, if not more, just went through it and left only destruction. The roads are all destroyed, like there are just they have been trampled, if that makes sense. The buildings, many of them are damaged. Those that are not are still covered in graffiti proclaiming Carl's divinity and him being Sigmar Reborn.
I asked Wally if that crusade we've heard about is responsible for all this damage.
Watok umgi, he says. What do you think?
Hey, I've got to investigate. Gotta get a straight answer. Can't rely on intuition.
You need to investigate the chicken, not the crusade. Bloody Greek.
Hey, a bunch of people were here, and all of a sudden food goes missing. I can't help but think that the crusade might have been part of it.
Or Dokav Bok, he says. And he shakes his head. He's not even looking at you when he says that. He's constantly just scribbling in his book. Let's get this over with. I also have things to do. Better things than follow you. Manlings?
Okay.
So, I guess we'll just continue on.
Yeah.
Head towards the bridge, and
he hangs like 2-3 meters behind you. He's walking behind you, not with you, essentially. And you can hear this constant scribble. Essentially, you've crossed the bridge and you're approaching Frau Gertrude's house. Frau Gertrude's house is an old squat one-story building that seems to be held together by patches of mud, rock and sheer force of will. You see that an earthen path leads from the main road up to a single large splintered wooden door at the front of the structure. You can hear that, Dwali verifies that you indeed have the correct house, but at some point he just stopped and he's hanging back at the road, scribbling. You can see that the house directly west of Gertrude's is a bustle of activity. In addition to a zealot singing the praises of Karl, Karl is Sigmar, Sigmar is Karl, something like that. Praises of Karl, Sigmar reborn. Many villagers are bringing brushes and buckets of water from the nearby river and entering the house. Other villagers exit and pour a darker colored liquid out on the ground before heading toward the river to refill their bucket.
Wait, one more time? Sorry?
From where do I need to...
Where did they get the buckets of black liquid?
From inside the house.
Which house?
What is that?
To the west of Frau Gertrude's, number 13.
And they're just pouring it on the dirt?
Yes.
Okay.
Sounds like they struck an oil well.
Well. Anyway, you are approaching the house of Frau Gertrude.
Yep.
Alright.
Unfortunately, I can't remember the theme song to Beverly Hillbillies.
You can see that Frau Gertrude...
A man named Jed. Dun dun dun. Got to keep his family fed. Then one day when he was shooting at some food, out of the ground came a bubbling ooze. Black gold, that is. That's all I remember of it.
Yeah, that's enough, yeah.
Okay, you can see that Frau Gertrude is currently outside her house, spreading mud over a raft of graffiti scrawled along her walls. Those of you who can read Reichspiel, you can discern the following messages, which can also be found painted, written or carved into many other structures throughout Pfeiffeldorf. Turn your soul over to Sigmar Reborn. Tread with wisdom, or wisdom will tread on you. May Karl Child bless and watch over us all, because Karl Franz has not. Shudder, false pretenders, weep and wail, for judgment has arrived. Frau Gertrude is a behemoth of a woman, standing fully 6 foot 4 inches tall and nearly as broad. You can see, as you approach her, that she is probably something like at least 50 summers old. And even from her body language, you can tell that she is ill-mannered and ill-tempered as well. There's like this aggression emanating from her,
With a very serious voice, I'm gonna whisper, maybe we do need our weapons.
As you approach, and you can see that you can actually hear that Frau Gertrude is busy cursing rather loudly those members of the Crusade who were responsible for the scrawling on her walls. She peers angrily at you, at the tallest of you, and asks, "What do you want? I don't know any of you lot. Stragglers from that damn Crusade, are you? Oh ho! Is that Dwali skulking about back there? What, are you running with the outsiders now? Too good for the likes of us Pfeiffeldorfers, eh? A pox on the lot of you."
I apologize, mine Frau, but we're here to investigate your missing chicken.
So that nitwit is pawning me off on a bunch of strangers, eh? I see what's happening here.
Professional investigators.
What makes you think you can find my Greta? She's been 4 days gone already.
We are the best investigators in the region. And then the minute she turns her head, because we're the only investigators in the region, I mutter. What? You said her name was Greta?
Yes, Greta. Are you deaf or stupid?
Probably both.
Greta.
Are you saying like that?
Yeah, I'm like calling the chicken.
Well, The short one is certainly stupid, doing things like that. You don't call a chicken like that. Don't you know?
How do you call a chicken?
You wouldn't understand anyway. Well, anyway.
When was the last time you saw Greta? You said 4 days ago. Was it in the morning, the evening?
It was the evening. I always check my chickens on the evening. And on the morning, Greta was gone. My other chickens are still here, but not Greta. It disappeared around back. Follow me. And mind your boots if you like them clean. There's mud. She leads you to the back of the house.
I want to murmur to the rest of the group. Didn't they say the Crusade came through a couple of days ago, not 4 days ago?
But it's still a couple. Like 4 days ago is a couple of days. Like 7 days ago is also a couple of days.
No, that's a few days. Couple is 2. A few is 3 to 5.
Okay, so
in the South, a couple includes more than 2.
Yeah.
Well, that's
in Poland it's also like you say couple or paro, as in our language.
We call that polygamy in the North.
It can it can mean 2, but it can also mean like a few days essentially, or a few things, you know. So yeah, that's what he meant, like by a couple of days, not 2 days, but you know, a few days. If that makes sense.
Okay.
It doesn't have to. I'm saying that it does. Anyway,
I thought I found a clue.
Okay. Anyway, she leads you to the back. And wait a second. Oh yeah, it is. Sorry for that. I just need to. Oh yeah. Around to the rear stands a chicken coop, and to the east a small plot of land for grazing and farming, which you can essentially see on the map. There's also like a fence covering the, dividing the 2 grazing fields. The one right next to the number 11, and the one on Frau Gertrude's possession. But the fence has been, as you can see, broken through. Anyway, Gertrude leads you to the back of the house, to the coop. She counts the chickens one by one. Agnes, Ottilia, Genevieve, Irmo, and there's Hans over there. She turns to you. You don't see Greta anywhere, do you? Some rotten blighter stole her, that's why. And it wasn't that bloody Crusade either, if that's what you're thinking. Animals keep on disappearing, and the Crusade is 3 days gone, if not more. So I want to know who took Greta. What are you waiting for? There's the hen house.
You said other animals keep on disappearing?
Are you another deaf man? Seriously? There's the
we were told that no other animals had disappeared.
Then you were told wrong.
Who do you know whose other animals have disappeared?
No, I don't know whose other animals did disappear. You can ask people around the village. There's the hen house. Good. Give the place a good once over, but you leave everything like you found it. I got my eye on you. With this, Gertrude walks to the side of her house and begins mudding over the graffiti once more. Good as her word, she never takes her eyes off you.
Okay, so I guess we need to look around. Look for any kind of,
I don't know, Greta, Hans over here is looking pretty suspicious.
Greta's the chicken.
Gertrude, yeah.
I want to look around and I guess see if there's any like obvious tracks that go that don't look like they belong to her or a chicken.
So you're checking out the coop first, right?
Yeah, and she said it's real muddy, right? So I want to look see if there's like any old tracks that like either somebody's boots that are going off in a direction that they shouldn't be, or even
roll a plus 10 search test. Plus 10
search.
Yeah, plus 10 search.
How many?
Can I try it too? I don't think I have the skill yet, but
yeah, you can try on half of your.
I'm trying to learn it, so.
Okay.
This is follow trail, right?
No, it's search.
No, search.
Oh, okay. Oh, search? Oh, shit. Didn't everybody have that? Yeah, I have it. Okay. Hey.
No. Anyone else?
You know, I'm gonna use this point.
I would say Leopold would probably also be searching, but
Yeah.
I'm kind of looking towards the northeast to kind of see if they're like I saw the map and I know there's a Garden of Moor. I'm kind of more interested in that than chickens right now.
Well,
so
you
I'm
don't
just kind
see
of
the
looking
Garden
for
of
that.
Moor, obviously, since it's, you know,
Yeah.
covered by the trees.
Yeah, I see the tree line that leads, I guess, to it. But
Who's anyone spending luck points?
I was gonna spend a luck point. Yeah.
would Leopold get a roll at it?
Which I
Yes.
failed to. So.
As the last one, he's going to. I don't know how much Leopold. I don't know how much intelligence he has. Probably not a lot. Let me just see this very quickly. Holy shit!
I
He
think I
passed.
see a trail leading back
He
to the
passed!
tavern.
Okay. Well,
Hey guys! I found something, says Leopold. And he points to actually a group of flies seemingly drawn to one particular bundle of hay in the far corner of the coop. See? That's strange.
yeah.
Guess I investigate it.
Yeah, gonna pull off some of the hay.
Okay. You pull off some of the hay. It reveals a small streak of blood. You can probably follow the blood.
Yeah.
Follow trail.
Follow
because-
trail time.
Dun-dun-dun.
Can I try it? On half?
You don't have it.
Yeah, but on half, right? Like I can still try it.
Follow trail. I think is advanced skill actually. I'm not sure, but I think it's advanced. If it's advanced, you can test it on half.
Okay, well, I just want to pay
add it.
attention to Lucas doing it then, because I want to actively try to learn it.
Is it
Okay.
outdoor survival? I thought I had that, but I'm not finding it.
You
Follow
must
trail?
you must have follow
Yeah.
trail if you have a scout.
I know.
You've done like follow trail tests like
Yeah, and you've done it a few
for
times.
years.
I know. That's why. Where the heck is it? Because
Okay,
I think you have it.
just roll like.
yeah. What is it? Do you have it handy?
It's perception, so it's intelligence essentially.
Perception. Okay.
Yeah, no, you've passed because it's easy. It's easy.
Oh, okay.
Um,
You know what? I deleted a couple of things off here earlier because I had talents in my advanced skills. I bet I accidentally deleted that one.
yeah, I mean, I probably should check all of your character sheets, but I'm actually dreading that because I know that what I will find. Of course, I'm joking. I know that you guys take care of this stuff, but you know.
Yeah, I did because I think that's what happened because here's a talent that I thought I deleted and moved down.
Like,
so
I mean, no joke. You guys take care of your character sheets. I used to have players who were like scribbling over them and have them in few pieces, which they've held together by a duct tape, something like that. It was dreadful, actually.
yeah.
So anyway, your follow trail takes you eastward before it ends at a broken fence bordering the next property. Now roll for -10 search. I presume that the rest of you guys follow him.
Yeah.
Okay. So those of you who wish so can test -10 search.
Okay. I will do that.
Nice. Oh, it's a bot.
Yeah, I'll use a luck. I don't want to botch.
Okay.
Sally's like, "Hey, I found something," and he's back at the chicken coop.
And then the landmine explodes. Okay, it's not a botch, but you've simply failed. Andrew, you've passed. Jason passed, and I'm also going to roll for Sean, even though he's not here, and he also passed. All right. Since Andrew passed in the best possible way, he's apparently the best of boys. You found, Andrew. Andrew, you found several brittle purple fibers caught on one of the sharp edges of the broken wood. It's
Brittle broken fibers?
No, several brittle purple fibers caught on one of the sharp edges of the broken wood.
Alright, there's a lot of B's and P's, got me confused.
Yeah, I'm probably mumbling a bit, sorry for that. I'm trying to like speak clearly. And of course the trail like ends here.
Okay, I'm gonna.
What do you make of this?
Pull them off and I guess put them in my purse or something with somewhere that I can keep them.
Okay.
Have we seen many people wearing purple?
No, the purple. Remember, purple is extremely expensive.
Rare. Yeah,
expensive.
That's
and this is a village.
Didn't you? Wasn't Arnholt wearing it?
No.
No. Okay.
He was wearing nobleman's garb. Sorry, but it wasn't purple, and it was like worn out, so to speak.
I guess that's common knowledge for all of us. That
yeah.
it's a
right. Well, and I mean, I can't speak for the Empire, but I know like there were points in history where it was literally illegal to wear purple unless you were royalty.
Like ancient Rome, yeah.
Even the medieval world. So I'm guessing that there's probably similar rules in place at points. Certain points. That we probably would know that.
Yeah. So anyway, you found that, but there's nothing more.
Which so where on that? Because I'm looking at the map now. Where on that fence line are we?
You're just right to the to the gap, right next to the gap in the fence, the broken fence. Essentially, you can see it on the map.
I see the map, but I don't necessarily see a broken part of it.
It's like it's up and a little bit to the right of. Actually, I think we could just draw on it.
Yeah.
Freehand. That it?
Oh, thank you.
Oh, okay. I was looking way lower. I was looking at that dark line right around the 12 property. Okay, so that's where we are.
Yeah.
So somebody then running this way would have either had to run. 11 is the weird neighbor's house, right?
You don't really know if it's weird neighbor. It's just
they're the ones that were dumping the water and shit, right?
No. 13.
Yeah. Oh, okay.
West of 12, not east.
So they either have to run to 11, run to the 1, 2, 3 area through the forest, or cut around and back onto the street, which could obviously take them anywhere. We should probably go talk to number 11.
You can also talk to Frau Gertrude.
Agreed.
And
yeah,
I suggest we take a few minutes break, guys.
Okay.
All right.
Let's go. Let me go get the next load of laundry.
That's a good idea.
Okay, I'm back.
I am back. Vincent doesn't seem like his whole heart is in on this investigation.
Yeah, well, it's hard to be enthusiastic about finding a not terribly nice woman's chicken.
And the fact that it's a chicken.
Yeah.
Though we heard the guy, we overheard him say, "Are they tough enough?"
Yeah, no, the whole thing definitely seems suspicious.
Like, yeah, like it's they're leading us into something or something along those lines.
Yeah. No, and the fact that they sent the scribe with us is a little bit odd. I mean, it's like they're trying to gather enough evidence to do something. You know? They're
Yeah. Yeah, so we I guess we have to be pretty careful on what we do.
I think so, yeah. Definitely not talk about anything that nobody else needs to know, and you know.
Yeah.
I think we keep pretending dumb on the Crusade, but yet ask questions.
Yeah, try to get other people's view on that.
And I think at some point, even before we leave, we need to look into house number 13. That was just weird.
Yeah, I'm trying to think. I'd imagine everybody who's still in town, except for the crazy hoot that was singing or chanting, are probably those who aren't fanatically involved with the Crusade.
Or couldn't, for some reason, leave. They were tied for other reasons.
Yeah, that might be worth kind of, as we meet people. Obviously, I'm guessing there's a little bit of ogre in that lady if she's 6 feet by 6 feet.
Yeah.
But yeah, it doesn't sound like she has any care for the Sigmar Reborn.
No, although she didn't seem as anti-Sigmar Reborn as I was expecting, because she specifically told us that they didn't do it.
Yeah. You think that would be suspect number one, even to her eyes?
Right. You know, a bunch of wandering peasants on a march to Altdorf stealing a chicken. I mean, that's pretty much, what's Occam, is it Occam's razor that's basically the most logical explanation is probably right.
Yep.
You know?
I'm back, guys.
Yeah, we're just discussing how suspicious it is that we're being followed by a scribe.
And the fact that they said, do we think they're tough enough for the task? Chicken.
Yeah.
But I do feel that if we end up not finding the chicken, we tar and feather Sally and say that we found the chicken.
I'd
see if that works.
I disagree with that.
You have moral objections to that plan?
I don't think we're going to find it. I think we're going to find something, but it's not going to be a chicken.
Yeah, well, so we know a rat has gone missing. We know a chicken has gone missing. We know potentially other animals have gone missing.
Honestly, Vincent sees the sign that the rat. Vincent's seeing the sign of the rat missing as a good sign. but yeah, I guess it's a connection.
You found some purple fabric though.
So some purple thread.
Oh man, out of character I have a bad feeling, but in character I'm probably just more concerned about getting a drink right now.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. So here's a little RP kind of question. How often do you guys have a good idea, but you're like, no, my character wouldn't think of that?
Yeah.
And so you just bypass it or say something else. Like, oh, I have a really good idea, but no way, Vincent's gonna,
I hate to say it, but I'm so bad at all this stuff that I try to make my characters as similar to me as I can. Because I can't keep things straight otherwise, and I mean, obviously, a faux medieval European charcoal burner is nothing like me, but I mean, it's in demeanor and whatnot. I tend to try to keep them that way, just because.
Yeah, because you can role play that a lot better than, I guess, role playing somebody else, because you have all the experience in the world of it. Like I've tried going out of the way and being a totally different character, but it's always I have to keep reminding myself, like, no, I'm this kind of character. It's hard.
Yeah. Yeah, I used to try to do that a lot more when I used to play a lot of vampire, but that was when I was younger and I had less on my plate to confuse me.
Yeah.
Hey, Brian, are you back to doing terrain?
Kind of, sort of. I'm getting hired at White Metal Games down here, but
I know those guys.
Yeah, they have to upgrade their lease first, and they were supposed to do it January, and the place they were going to move into, the people went month to month, because they just don't have the space for it right now. So basically, they're subcontracting through me, but it's not like full time yet. But they're just going to bring me in house once they have the extra 3,000 square feet.
Yeah, the main painter is such a hipster.
Preston?
Yes.
Yeah.
Yeah. I was in a class with Banshee with him at Nova last year, and he's such a hipster. Like, I expected him to pull out a bottle of PBR during the class.
He's got his own style for sure.
Yeah, I mean, he's good.
Yeah. Yeah, they're all pretty cool. It's like a half mile from my house.
Oh, that's cool.
And so like I just met them by chance. Like I heard they were in Nightdale, so I looked it up. I'm like, that's like right around the corner. I had a terrain set I wanted to sell, and so I just dropped by with it. I was like, hey, do you guys want to do like some cross advertisement? Take some pictures of your minis on the terrain, and we all just get good pictures. And then they bought it, so I'm like, okay. You know what I mean?
That's cool. Yeah,
I wasn't expecting that, so.
I bought a bunch of stuff off them at Nova because I guess they buy a bunch of like the start collecting boxes and stuff.
Yeah.
But can only sell certain things painted and so I got a bunch of on sprue characters for like half price off of them. I mean, they were all opened, but they were on sprue. So
yeah.
So are they just model painters? They don't do any terrain.
They do, but they're focused on miniatures. So like that's where I'd come in with terrain, like doing more like dioramas or scenic bases, and
I'm back.
Like doing like some miniature assembly and stuff. Like I can't really paint miniatures the way I can build terrain. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like I could paint terrain really well, but when it comes to miniatures, my hand shakes a little too much, and it's more forgiving when you do terrain.
That's how I am with drawing. Like, I can draw things a lot better than I can draw people.
Yeah.
Okay. I'm here. What? Where were we?
So we're standing at the break in the fence, trying to figure out where to go next.
You are, I think, going to speak with Frau Gertrude.
Is that what we were going to do? Because I was trying not to have to talk to her again.
Okay. I mean, some of you, like, said so, but...
Hey, I know
I'm
what
not
we
sure
can do.
what she would tell us.
We can really mess with Dwally, and 2 of us can go to House 11, and 2 of us can go talk to Frau Gertrude.
Dwally is not here. He observes you from the road, but he's not standing right next to you.
Okay. Well, yeah, we might as well, I guess, keep in touch with.
Okay.
Gertrude.
Since he's just observing us in a whisper, Vincent and I were actually already discussing this during the break, but we basically want to act like we're looking at stuff, but basically talk about how this, obviously is really suspicious, and that we need to make sure not to give away any information while we're here, because, why would they worry about it if we're tough enough to find a chicken, and they were so eager to not tie us and piss us off.
They spent the resources of 25 nobles to bring us to the village.
Right. This whole thing is weird, but simultaneously to keep playing dumb about the Crusade, but try to get more information. So I kind of want to discuss that with the group while we're there, and not having Dwally right next to us. But point out, like, why is he documenting that is weird,
I'm curious if this kid, if it has something to do with if you have to be up close to him or something, you know what I mean? Because it seems like the guards in town, they were far away and didn't really get a good look at him, and they all seem not quite enamored with him.
Because the other thing we were discussing is we need to check out that crazy House 13 at some point regardless, so maybe that's something we can ask them. It's like, so did you guys get to see Carl? And see how they respond.
I also want to go to the tavern. That's always a good place to
So
get
wait,
some
you
answers.
Actually,
Carl. You said Carl. Am I confused?
I think Carl's the name of the
kid.
The Sigmar Reborn.
Yeah.
Okay. See, I keep hearing Carl, and I think Carl Franz.
Yeah. Well, and actually, to Sally's point, the tavern actually is a good place, because that would be a good place to find out who the heck in this one-horse town owns purple.
Yeah. So I think that's information we would share with Leopold and Sally, is the purple thread. I don't know if we did that in game, but that's.
Well, they were there with us, so
Yeah.
Okay, let's go back and ask Frau Gertrude if she's ever seen anybody going through that break in the fence.
All right. You return to Frau Gertrude. Ask her, please.
Mein Frau, we found some evidence that somebody's been going through the break in the fence over there. Is that common, or have you ever seen anybody doing that?
Yeah, sure, I saw someone doing that. That whole damn Crusade made a stop on the old Marienburg field, right behind the fence. They've broken through and made quite a mess while they were there. What, haven't you seen the state of the field of old Marienburg?
Oh, yeah. Well, yeah, we have to make sure all our I's are dotted and T's are crossed. Does anybody in this town frequently wear any purple clothing?
I don't think so. Maybe the von Speyers who own this place, but they almost never show up in town. Neither Lucas nor his good-for-nothing brother.
That Lucas.
Can't trust anybody named Lucas, let me tell you.
Ha ha fucking ha, says Lucas.
That's Andy.
No, I was the one that said you can't trust anybody named Lucas.
Oh, sorry. Ha ha ha, says Leopold. Sorry.
So, did you see any well-off noble folk as part of the Crusade, or is it the I kind of look for a word to describe it, more common folk?
No.
So no nobility, no higher class folks in the Crusade.
I didn't even look at the Crusade. I didn't care about that bunch of fanatics, except, to make sure that they didn't, took my stuff, raided the coup or something like that.
And you don't feel like they did?
Now that you mention it, as not, Old Man Eisen was working his fields, those ones, right across from mine, around the time that Greta disappeared. And also Hernace, the bailiff, had a hungry look in his eye that's disappeared a few nights past. You don't suppose he pinched one during his rounds? I mean, my chicken.
The bailiff? You think the bailiff?
I don't know. Maybe he did. Maybe he did. You can usually find him in the tavern.
Sounds like a good place to check. Thank you very much.
But you can also speak with Eisen. He lives right next to me.
How do you... hold on.
I'm going to write it.
I see it on the map.
Yeah. Oh yeah. El Viejo Eisen.
Yes. Yeah. Why don't we?
Here.
You want to swing by Eisen's?
Yeah, let's go there.
Lucas, do you want to follow me through the back the way they could have traveled?
There's a trail.
Yeah.
In case he tries to bolt when Sally and Leopold knock on the door.
Sounds good.
Yeah, it's a chicken.
Very nice chicken that somebody in purple is going after it.
Not very nice, but the best chicken.
So me and Leopold are going around front, and you guys are going around back.
Yeah, through the break in the wall.
My chickens are the envy of the whole Pfeiffeldorf. Just so you know.
What was the name of the brothers that she said she barely sees?
Von Speyers.
Okay, so that's the... Okay, cool.
6 and 7. Yeah, 3 through 7. Wow. It's the whole side of town.
Yeah. So anyway, you are making your way to Old Man Eisen's property, right?
Yes.
The majority, yeah, the majority of Eisen's planting area seems to have been trampled flat by many feet, and large areas have been used, apparently very recently, as camping sites, with bent and flattened plant stalks strewn around seemingly at random. A brief survey of the area reveals the remains of several fire pits, and one sizable portion of the fence surrounding Eisen's lands has been broken through. That portion. Charred wood found in the fire pits that you are walking past by matches the timber from the broken fence. It's clearly that a horde of people recently passed through here and left quite a mess in their wake. And you can see Old Man Eisen himself tending to his field. He's an ancient man, which means that he's around 60 years old. Almost bent double, with stringy white hair covering his scalp. He wears a very dirty set of clothes, and as you approach him, despite the cold, you can smell the, well, rather intense odor emanating from the man. It takes you a second to actually understand what the man is doing. He is planting rocks. He walks through his property and he plants rocks as if he were planting seeds. Also roll +10 perception test. Everyone.
Oh, Sally. Oh.
He's really thinking about food.
Yeah. Okay. Jason and Andrew, or Vincent and Lucas, you've spotted that under his clothes, torn working clothes, you can see what appears to be freshly healed whip scars crisscrossing his back. Anyway, the man is humming to himself, and he's planting rocks.
So he's out in the field. So if we go the back way, we're gonna run into him first, right?
Yeah, I was going to wave to the others, kind of signal them to come on by.
I walk up past his house to rendezvous with everybody, I guess.
Yeah, but his house is on number 11, and you are walking through the tear in the fence.
No, Sally and Leopold were going around through the street.
Oh, okay.
So I guess you guys would get there first, and then I'd get there a minute or two later or something.
Yeah.
Okay. So where are you meeting? Where are you guys meeting?
At where Old Man Eisen is.
Okay, so you're approaching the Old Man Eisen.
Yeah.
Who goes there? Who's there? My eyes are not what they used to be, young man.
Good day, Meinherr. We're here to investigate the theft of Frau Gertrude's chicken, and
What did you say? A lot of hay? No, I don't have any hay, young man. I'm sorry.
I look at everybody else and with the kind of should we just leave look.
Can we tell what the crop used to be before it got trampled by the caravan?
No, you really can't.
Not even on the edges.
No.
Lucas is going to ask him real slowly and loudly, "What are you planting?"
Wait a second. I'm planting seeds, sonny, so I can have strong crops from which I can make good food.
What kind of crops?
Hops? No, I don't make beer. No, sirree.
What crops?
Pox? No, I'm healthy despite me being more than a lot of years old, sonny. Thank you for asking.
Whenever Sally comes by, I want to ask him.
Yeah,
if he saw
Sally is right
anything.
next to you already, and Leopold as well.
Did you guys see anything on your way up? At the house or around the house or?
Mouse? Which mouse?
I'm ignoring the old.
There are a few mice here.
Tavern?
Where are the mice?
What? Rice? What's rice?
Wheat?
Meat? Oh, I would like some meat. Oh, especially that delicious meat pie that Bretonnian girl makes. Delicious.
Yeah.
Huh?
Maybe we should investigate his hut. or is Hobble?
Hobble? Oh,
Sally, would you
help
like to
yourself. Speak a few
Yeah,
of them.
I'm gonna go whisper to Sally to go investigate his hovel while we keep him distracted.
Watch him hear that.
Everyone roll -10 perception test. No.
Oh,
Oh.
I should probably roll luck for that.
Mm.
Still failed, but not a botch.
Yeah.
Alright, so who had the lowest? Oh, Brian, you've passed.
no, I don't think so. Did I? -10?
What's the perception relating to?
Well, eyesight, intelligence.
Okay.
Actually, you've passed.
Because
okay.
yeah, because some people like I have bonuses to hearing tests and that type of stuff. That's why I asked.
Sally, you see that there's a torn piece of cloth protruding slightly from Eisen's pocket, and you can see that it's purple.
I just point to it.
The rest of you see it, of course.
Okay.
I want to walk up to him, put my hand on his shoulder, and kind of just see how he reacts. Trying to like look into his face, see how aware he is.
You see that he squints his eyes constantly, and you can also see that his pupils are very pale. The man is obviously, almost blind. And of course, from what you've gathered, he can also barely hear. He's shaking a bit, but despite this hardships of his, he still smiles, and he grabs your hand. Aha, Sunny, thank you. Maybe you would like a glass of milk, if that darn goat hadn't wandered off again. Huh?
What did he call me?
Sunny.
Sonny. Oh, okay. Real slowly, I'm gonna say, do you have family or la familia in this town?
Do I have Lily? No, I don't really have a Lily. I don't live by a lake. I'm sorry.
I don't think we're going to get anything other than seeing that he's got a piece of purple cloth.
I want to just grab it and pull it out and look at it.
Do you want to grab it so he wouldn't notice that, or do you want to grab it just like, fuck
No,
this
it's
shit?
fine if he sees me.
Of course.
That actually might give us a better answer, quite honestly.
Yeah.
As you are reaching for the piece of cloth, and you just put your hand into his pocket, he of course grabs your hand and, what are you doing, young man? This is not yours. This is mine.
Where did you get it?
I don't remember. It brings me good luck. You want it?
Well, the thing is, that same type of fabric was found at the scene of a very serious crime that was committed.
Mittened?
Hey, you heard us before.
Tell you what. If you go to the Wet Whistle and obtain a slice of this young Bretonnian girl delicious swamp pigeon pie, frog being the key ingredient in it, mind you, I will give you my lucky piece of cloth. How's that sound?
Good.
Well, Why don't you come with us?
No, I'm comfortable here. I don't like to leave my property.
Yeah. We'll leave Leopold to watch him, and we can go to the to get him that pie.
Yeah, Leopold, stay here and help this guy plant some rocks.
Leopold looks at you, with a murderous glare. Cocks? No, I don't have a cock. I don't have much cocks. I think Frau Gertrude has a few cocks. I mean roosters. Because, from what I gather, a cock is a male chicken, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
But it's also a male appendage.
I know. That.
Well, see, that's the thing, old man. One of them went
Ham?
missing.
Oh, do you have ham?
That's just... Leopold, you watch him, guys. Let's go.
Yep.
All this talk about chicken. Let's go receive Esmeralda's blessings now.
You reach the road. Dwali is there waiting for you. Did you find anything?
Maybe.
But we have to go get some meat pie from the Bretonian lady at the Wet Whistle to trade for something. So
Load of crook. Very well. And he follows you, of course.
What's your story, Dwali?
He looks at you for a second and then he returns to scribbling. He doesn't answer the question, he just follows you. It's rather obvious that he doesn't want to be here with you. So, you're making your way to number 19, I believe.
Yep.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's the Wet Whistle. It's located at the south end of the village. And as you approach it, you can see that it is actually one of the buildings, one of Pfeiffeldorf's buildings, that hasn't been really destroyed or even damaged that much. It's a very small tavern, essentially. And outside of it stands a Crusade of the Child Zealot, who, as you approach the place, warns you against entering the den of iniquity, and offers you salvation if only you would heed the wisdom of Sigmar Reborn. Hear the words of Karl, Sigmar Reborn, and be saved! You guess that it's probably because of the fact that this is a den of iniquity, that made this building stand the passage of the Crusade of the Child. There are only a few graffitis here and there, but nothing too serious. As you enter the place, you can see that like I said, it's a small building, smelling rather strongly of unwashed bodies and generally of dust, of filth. You presume that if there are any rooms here to rent, there are probably only a few of them. There's of course a counter, behind which stands a man, a rather gaunt and drawn-looking man, a wisp of a man actually, really wisp of a man, who is constantly coughing into his kerchief, which is rather filthy. There are a few people here, sitting here and there, drinking and generally passing the time. So, who are you approaching?
I hit the man at the counter to ask about getting some of that swamp pigeon pie.
Hello there, stranger. Name's Martin Kleinschrott. Where are you from, eh?
Bit of here, bit of there, bit of everywhere.
Mind I ask you a question first, sir?
Sure.
Have you seen a mangy brown dog in your travels?
Not yet, but we'll keep an eye out for one.
Shame. Used to be there was a quiet little dog what laid claim to my patrons' left afters. Haven't seen them at in almost a week, and I'm starting to miss the thing. Anyway, there's nothing for it. What will you be having then?
We were sent to pick up a one of the pigeon pies that we've been told you can get here.
Oh yes, Miss Arouette's famous pigeon pie. Yeah, she Francine sits over there at the table. She's the fancy lass. Say, mind, Mister, have you heard about the missing animals?
That he asked that to us.
Yes, to you actually.
Well, we've heard about a missing rat and a missing chicken, but not the other missing animals. And of course, the missing mangy brown dog you just asked us about. What's this about missing animals, though?
You see that he leans in conspiratorially, looking at you to come a bit closer so he can convey you a secret.
Okay, I lean in, but try to stay out of the so if he coughs again, it's not right on me.
As you lean in, he coughs. But yeah, you've tried your best to avoid the spittle and slime, so it only landed on the counter. Fortunately for you. I'm sorry, he says, and you see then that he removes his moist kerchief to actually wipe off his face and to wipe the counter. You see that the kerchief is very dirty and very moist. You see, sir, this blood coats what I hear. Sweeping through the town, turning otherwise right folk to the dark forces. More than likely that's what went wrong with our baker. First they do things to animals, terrible, terrible things. Then they move on to people. Could be anyone in town, though I wager the witch hunters will be along soon enough to sort it all out.
I'm losing my appetite.
Yeah,
I
am thinking we're not eating here.
I'm staying a good couple meters away from
from him.
anybody coughing.
By the way, the travel here took you 5 days, so you need to scratch off 5 days worth of rations. I presume you have rations.
We didn't stop to buy any, did we?
No.
Yeah.
Yeah, I have rations.
Really
7 days.
hungry.
Well, 2 now.
How much do the rest of you have after the 5 days travel?
I didn't. We didn't pick up any rations.
No. Oh, so you were essentially just not eating. Okay. Well,
I think the intention would have been to get rations on the way.
Wanted to, but we just kind of left town.
yeah. You are all extremely hungry, except for Lucas, who has rations and has eaten them along the way.
While making a huge scene the entire time. Oh, these are the best dried nuts I've ever had. Oh,
Exactly.
They are. Then I'm
going to inquire what else is on the menu, something that he couldn't have coughed on, hopefully.
Are you asking about the...
Actually, yeah, I'm going to point out I'm going to look at Sally and say we can order 2 of the pies from the lady over there.
You see,
that's
sir,
a better idea.
we have very fine buckwheat cakes with molasses. Maybe you would like some. Sorry. I'm sorry.
Let's investigate. Let's move on to the lady.
Yeah.
So you're moving on.
I'll get a bottle of... does he have any rye or anything like that?
What? What exactly?
Like whiskey or anything?
No. Whiskey in a place like this? He's got ale.
Ugh. I hate this town.
Is it?
This is a small poor village. They probably don't even know what a whiskey is.
Those sheltered Europeans.
He has sherry if you want that. Actually, sorry, no, not even sherry, perry, which is like an apple wine, I believe.
Okay, yeah, I guess we'll just get these pies. At least, hopefully, this girl doesn't have a cough while she's preparing them.
Yeah.
So you're approaching Arouette.
Yeah.
Okay. Arouette is a young, pretty-looking girl. She dresses. She also has a phone ringing.
Sorry, it's spam callers most likely.
All right.
It's in the room with me. There's nothing I can do about it. It's too far away for me to pick up and hang up on them.
It's about enlarging your penis, probably.
Probably. Actually, usually it's about
making it smaller.
Making my credit better.
Okay. Oh.
Usually that's what most of my spam calls are.
Yeah.
Or getting my business better rankings on Google.
Oh. No. Well, I only get the that first part thing, you know, about the credit, not the penis. Anyway, the Francine Arouette is a pretty-looking girl. You can see that she has long brown hair. You know, she dresses in a style of a town person, city person, more than a country folk. She's got breeches, a doublet, you know, some kind of a corset. She also writes something extensively in a small notebook, and there are a few books laying before her on her table. She also has a small glass of ruby red wine, from which she sips. Yeah, well, I mean, she's not very pretty. She's nice to look at, but you know, she's not a beauty, so to speak. She's also quite young, probably about something like 20-something years old. You approach her. She, of course, you know, looks at you. I mean, she raises her eyes, looks at you. She puts away the quill. Oh, hello there.
Hello.
Hello, les gentlemen. I am Francine Arouette from Le Bretonnia. Nice to meet you.
Nice to meet you too. We were told to inquire with you about some meat pies.
Oh, oui, my famous swamp pigeon meat pies.
Yes.
Yes, frog is the key ingredient. You see. Oui. I'm actually pretty famous for making them. That and for my political activism.
Sounds great.
Do you want to hear about my political activism?
We're kind of in a time crunch. Can we get 2 of the pies?
You see, this is about my country's execrable caste system. Sorry. Execrable caste system. That's why I had to leave my my homeland and travel to the Empire. Oui. That's it.
So about those meat pies.
Yes, oui, meat pies. Like I said, frog is the key ingredient. Anyway, I'm really impressed with your nation. It is a great place, very great place.
So how much for 2 of the pies?
Not much. Anyway, although I do think that it is dangerous to be right when the Emperor is wrong, no?
Sally, could you get your purse out?
Oh, you want the pies? I can make it for you. Oh, and you don't have to pay, but I will need a small favor from you, me gentlemen.
Lucas lets out a big sigh and says, "Okay, what is it?"
You see, I bake very good blood sausage and bratwurst pie, as well as the swamp pigeon. And it's no big deal for me to make you some of it. Actually, I've just finished baking one and would be happy to give you a slice, but I really need a simple favor. I need to track down a specific tome on Empire history. If you return with the book, I will be able to. I will be inclined to give you my famous pie.
Where would you find this book?
Well, mein Herren, the book can be probably. Sorry. The book can be found in Johannes Gebhardt collection. Oui. Johannes Gebhardt lives in this village. He has a pretty nice collection, but unfortunately I can't really use it anymore. Not after the the last incident.
Incident?
Oh, nothing too serious. I mean, Herr Gebhardt is pretty uptight when it comes to borrowing some of his books. I only wanted to read it very quickly. He's a brilliant man. Did you know he used to be the imperial mathematician? Why he's come to Pfeiffeldorf, I never know.
Are these his books? And I kind of put my hand on top of the other books on the table.
Oh no, these are mine. These are mine. Please don't touch them. Don't please.
I kind of look to see if there's a title. What do they say?
These are all essentially books about politics, caste systems, peasant revolutions, stuff like that.
My brain hurts and I look away.
Just so you know, the voice you're doing for her is almost identical to the voice of a guy. I listen to the soccer podcast, and he does a bit with. I don't know if you know who Andrei Arshavin is.
Okay.
He's a Russian soccer player. The voice you're doing is almost identical to the voice he does for Andrei Arshavin.
Okay.
It's bizarre that you hit on that so well.
Well, thanks. Thank you.
Yeah.
Yeah. So. Wait a second.
So I asked, does he normally let people borrow books, or do we have to borrow it without him knowing we're borrowing it?
You will need. You will probably need to either convince him or maybe even pay him. But I'm sure that gentlemen of your repute and abilities will have no problem in doing this.
What book is it we're looking for?
It's a book about the imperial history. Oui. Well, you see, Johannes Gebhardt has the only library in this town, apart from the inaccessible library owned by the von Speyers. And he won't let me borrow any more books. He he discovered that I was using my research to pen political tracts, and he doesn't want no trouble. If you would be if you would kindly borrow the book for me, I will not only give you a slice of my pie, but I also will let you on a secret. And
two slices of pie.
Very well, 2 slices of pie. I only need for like 24 hours because I'm only looking for a very specific passage that I can transfer to my own papers in a brief amount of time. The book is A Right and Honorable Accounting of the Empire's History, Provincial Perspectives from the Common Man by Herr Trubert Steiner.
We should write this down.
I'm trying to. A Right and Honorable Accounting
of the Empire's History, Provincial Perspectives from the Common Man by Trubert Steiner.
Okay, cool, got it.
I must say I'm very, very impressed with your country, my Naren. Very impressed. In my country, you see, to succeed in Bretonia, it is not enough to be stupid. You must be well-mannered also. Hmm?
Yeah, this isn't my country.
Oh? Well, what do you make of it, Herr Halfling? Monsieur Halfling?
Alright.
Hmm. But it is interesting, no? How much value they place on religion. I think that if Sigmar did not exist, it would be necessary to invent him. Hmm?
It sounds like it's over my head. Where I come from, it's all about more.
I think it's a good thing we left Leopold.
You see, those who can make you believe the outrageous can make you commit atrocities. That's something that I've learned firsthand when in my country.
Well, thank you very much. We're gonna go. We're gonna go talk to Herr Gephardt and see if we can't get you that book.
Yeah, if it's not exactly clear, Arouet is essentially a communist.
Yeah.
Can I see about getting some like nuts or dried fruit or cheeses or something from the bartender before we leave? Because we don't have anything right now.
Yeah, you are essentially starving. He says, "Yes, sir. I can actually give you something if you wish."
How about
You could just
directions
point-
to a general store?
We don't have one of those here.
You can just point to the barrel and I'll get it up myself. That's fine.
Excuse me.
I want to stop by the Temple of Moor.
So, you leave the place, I presume.
Yes, where is the this guy's place?
Gephardt?
It's
Yeah.
20,
It's 20.
so that's just around the corner.
Oh,
But in 15, the Temple of Moor. No, that's Temple Sigmar.
no, it's way up north.
Oh, okay. When we get out, I want to ask Dwale how long that guy has been coughing like that.
What? The owner? Client
Yes. Yeah.
I mean, like forever.
Okay.
He fancies himself dying. He actually wants to pass his business to his young son Paul's. But he says that he's dying, for a few years now. So I guess that it's more like an act, as is usual the case with humanlings.
Thank you very much, sir.
It is unwise to act on such things.
How much for like a few days of rations?
Are you asking the dwarf?
No, I asked the bartender.
Oh, so you return to the bar and ask the bartender. Okay.
I was trying to buy something when I was in there.
So you
Yeah,
did-
he said he was going to do that.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
So well, sir, I really need to settle for a single accent. Okay, that's good. Well, sir, for a single like rations pack per day, it will be like 10 pennies, sir.
10 pennies per day.
Yeah, but they're not especially wholesome because, well, after that whole Crusade thing business, sir, you see, we are not exactly we haven't got back on our feet, and the winter is being rather ungenerous.
Ugh. Yeah, just one day of rations will do.
Very well, sir. 1 day of rations for you. Excuse me. He spat like behind the counter. You see that he spat something big and green. And oily looking.
Ugh.
He reached under the counter and brought up a small package, wrapped in cloth. Here you are, sir. Sorry. it will be 10 pennies.
Okay, I pay it over out of the war chest.
All right. He took the money and he pushed the rations towards you.
And I guess we're gonna eat on the move.
No,
Yeah.
no problem.
Lucas, hopefully we can hunt later on because I don't want to rely on food from
Yeah.
this place.
Yep. No, I agree.
Yeah, well, the ration is like it's not much, honestly. There are a few like dried fruits and nuts. There are a few wheat cakes and a few pieces of salted fish, but it's much smaller than what you are normally used to. There's not much of it, honestly.
Oh, yeah, I probably got to go about in the next 30 minutes or so.
Yeah, actually, I would like to finish it right now, if that's okay.
Okay. Okay. Yeah.
Because we've done quite a lot, and this is a very short chapter. I would like for Sean to attend our next game.
Okay.
Okay, cool, guys. Jesus, sorry. Now I have problems with with my throat. It's still less.
I about said that pretty soon you're gonna have the pox from this.
No, funnily enough, I have like this cough for 3 years now because the air here is just so bad because we are using coal all the time that a lot of people here are coughing like that, and it's just. I wouldn't be surprised if I would be like if what kills me is the air essentially in a few years. Like, no joke. Anyway, for today's game, let's give everyone 50 points. Oh, by the way, it's still less disgusting than imitating a man who has extreme flatulence. Just let me tell you that. And I had to do
Probably
that.
less messy too on your keyboard and.
Well, yes. No, I mean, usually when I do stuff like that, I always, cover my mouth so as not to spit everywhere when I'm doing like stuff like that, right? 50 points for everyone, 10 points for characters. Now for the place of birth, Brian.
I said in Tyler we worship more than Sigmar.
Yeah, that's pretty nice. And you also said that you're not from here.
Yeah, not from the Empire.
Yeah. Okay. You know what? I'll give you 10 points. Why not? Andrew.
The I don't know if it was place of birth or not, but talking about it's good to be back in the woods and stuff.
I will
now
give you
the
10
city.
points for that because that was actually very cool. And the thing that see, animals would not stab us in the back. Sorry, bitches. Jason.
I try to be a little more
Wissenlandy.
dour, I guess.
You were dour, yeah. You were dour today. You were looking at the Temple of Mar. I mean, that's more religious thing, but.
And I guess more specifically, like the fact that I was saying that are we just going to kill this guy when we find him, type of thing, and.
I can give you 5 points maybe for that. Oh no, I'll give you 10.
Okay.
And Leopold. He was also dour and rather like serious today, both when talking to Shade and later to the steward. Oh,
Yeah.
Let's give him 10.
Yeah, when he basically threatened to kill the guy.
Yeah. So okay, religion, Brian. You were speaking about Esmeralda, and you were wanting to eat something, anything, even though the man was coughing his lungs out. So you've bought the rations. I'll give you 10 for that. Andrew.
Nothing really today.
Okay, Jason. More. Yeah, you were like, let's go to Temple of More. I look at the direction of Temple of More. Very nice. 10 points.
Yeah, I think the main one was when the guy was saying how he was joking about dying for 2 years, and I was like, shouldn't be joked about.
Yeah.
Oh,
Yeah.
I didn't get that. That's what you were doing.
Yeah, I also didn't get it, but that was nice. 10 points for you. And Leopold, well, I didn't really saw anything about Sigmar. He was saying something once. I can give him 5 points for that. Like, someone note that, please.
Okay.
Star sign, Brian.
I don't think I have anything for Star Sun.
Okay, Andrew.
Sensible, intuitive, lucky.
10 points. 10 points definitely for handling the situation in the forest and later in the village. Yeah, like voice of reason. Jason.
Gungern's Baldric, discipline, honorable, profession of arms. Not really anything too much today.
You wanted to like have your sword by your side, I believe, something like
Yeah.
that. I can give you 5 points for that.
Okay.
And Leopold wasn't cheap today, really, so I can't give him anything, even if I wanted to. Brian, your Doom.
I don't have anything for Doom either.
Okay, Andrew.
The sword shall bring no justice, only suffering. Yeah, I think I was willing to do all of these things to just get going, and you know, I was willing to give up the weapons and
Yeah. And then help in the village.
right. Even though, like, I don't necessarily want to, but like it's just like
Common
okay,
sense.
let's do this. Yeah.
10 points. Jason.
The Doom is what we're doing.
Yeah.
Yeah.
The darkness, the darkest rot shall eat thee from within. Rejecting the food from the tavern and
Very
opting to
nice.
see what food they would have at the temple.
Yeah, 10 points. Cool. Very cool. Really. Leopold has something about the hourglass. I can't really give him anything for that. Either. I always forget. Either it's or either. How do you
Either way.
Either way,
You can
okay.
say either way. Yeah.
By the way,
Either way.
if I'm making obvious mistakes, you guys can correct me. Okay, sorry if I do.
It's not either way, it's either way.
Seriously. You're going to meet an orc soon. Either way. Yeah.
But yeah, both are fine.
Okay.
Both pronunciations are fine.
Really?
Yeah.
Okay, cool.
At least in America. Maybe the Brits are anal retentive about it, but in America, we're fine with both.
But they say aluminiums, and that's just...
Yeah.
Oh, mate, something about the Brits, eh? You have something about us Brits? Pip pip. No, I can't use my English accent today, sorry. Oh, governor! Right, so after that, after that we have Racing Brian. Halfling.
I was really pushing for this hot meal.
Yeah, you were also like joking about the chicken stuff. It's rather halflingy actually. They don't really take anything like too seriously. So I can give you 5 points for that, for being a cool halfling today. And yes, you were talking about, eating all the time and let's go to the inn. First, let's visit the inn. So
Get a pint. Yeah.
That was cool. Okay, so that's it for today, guys.
How many points do I get for doing 3 sessions of notes?
30 as usual.
30. Okay, I can't ever remember how many it is.
30 as usual. Next time it will be someone else, probably Jason, since he's next in line. Okay, guys. So I guess that next time we'll thankfully return. Well, I mean, probably and thankfully return to our Sunday schedule. What about 10th of February?
Hold on.
Should be good. I don't have any plans. Again, it's like I'm always going to be maybe 5 or 10 minutes late, depending.
Sure.
It varies, but...
So, that week on the 13th is one of my kids' birthdays. I think the party is the weekend after that.
But
So
wait, not 13th, 10th. 10th of February.
Right. The 13th is his birthday. So it's in the middle of that week. I think the party is on the 16th or 17th.
Okay.
So I think I can do the 10th, but I might have to not last minute. I mean, you know, in the next week or so, let you know that the 10th might not work.
Okay, well, so let's try it, because if that is the case, then of course 16th and 17th are also out of the question. So let's try and make it on 10th. Okay.
Okay.
Cool. Sounds good.
Cool. So yeah, unless something comes up, it's the 10th. Thank you guys for the game. I'll see you all next time.
Great.
Yeah.
All right, see you.
See you.
Yeah.
Bye.